You're a well-educated man, Coop, and a trained pilot.
And an engineer.
The world doesn't need any more engineers.
Humanity's last chance at survival rests upon the shoulders of a 4-person crew of astronauts. Their mission? Find another planet in the cosmos that can support life, or unlock the secrets behind the laws of the 4th and 5th dimensions, whichever they can do first without running out of rocket fuel or time. Christopher Nolan attempts to do something grand and operatic with his latest sci-fi epic Interstellar. When the film focuses on exploration and science, it really delivers, but when it shifts into sappy melodrama, it almost crashes the entire mission.
We're not meant to save the world. We're meant to leave it.
What I liked about the film, it features some exquisite space porn. Imagine the outer space scenes from the latest incarnation of Cosmos, but with a defined narrative plotline. Explanations of wormholes, dangerous away missions to faraway planets, long, quiet shots of starships flying through space, and talk of space-time relativity. Interstellar handles all of this with a cerebral approach.
We must confront the reality of interstellar travel.
Few films, much less science fiction movies, incorporate this much science and theory into their scripts. Speaking of other movies, part of the fun for me was picking out the references and throwbacks to the sci-fi classics that have come before it. Many of the shots and themes harken back to movies like 2001, The Terminator, Apollo 13, Sunshine. The DNA of all of those films can be found throughout the plot and the visual style of Interstellar. If you can, see it on the biggest screen possible. Nolan's space vistas take on an impressive spectacle when viewed through the lens of a 70mm IMAX projector. My only complaint in this regard is that Nolan didn't linger more on the beautiful vastness of space. Those big money shots truly make the film worthy of a trip to the theater. As for the stuff that I didn't like, anytime the film moved away from focusing on science and tended to talk more about the virtues of love, well, that's the stuff that began to suffocate the plot for me. At its most basic level, Interstellar is a movie about the clash between the heart and the head. When the movie attempts to appeal to your brain, it excels, but most of the touchy-feely stuff in the last third, it just falls flat. Once our bold crew of astronauts leave the solar system, I wish Nolan would have just stayed with their story instead of splitting our attention between their important mission and the relatives left far behind on a dying Earth. The problems faced by the family members left behind pale in comparison with the drama faced by the crew of the spacecraft Endurance. When the destinies of Matthew McConaughey's character and his daughter finally do intersect, we're met with a mostly unsatisfying conclusion that rebels against the logic and the scientific approach that I appreciated from the first 2/3 of the film.
I've got kids, Professor.
Get out there and save them.
Interstellar demonstrates Christopher Nolan's understanding of how to compose beautiful shots for an IMAX screen, how to use computer effects to show exciting, action-filled scenes in space, and how to make science and space exploration both educational and interesting. The film also shows his clumsiness when it comes to matters of the heart. I just wish he would have concentrated more on the dangers and the thrills of space exploration as the main source of the film's drama, rather than smother us with exposition about the pompous of love. But those are just my thoughts about Interstellar. I'd love to hear yours. You can hit me up on Twitter, John_Airy, or leave me a comment below. I'm John at the movies.